Hi everybody, Terry Brown in the man cave again. Love being in the man cave because I can work on gear. A lot of questions we get from readers is what are some great summer baits? And I think that's really one of those things that's really up to your preference. But some of the great summer baits across the country are big worms, crankbaits, swim baits, that kind of stuff. I have preferences, and I actually believe very strongly in certain things. And one in particular is the Old Monster Worm by Zoom. It's a big worm, it's 10 inches long. It's a worm that you can take and you can throw through heavy cover, you can throw through rock, you can catch big fish offshore with it. That's one really good technique, and it's a technique you can pick up a lot of fish with. Second thing I like to throw is a swim bait, and a lot of guys won't throw a swim bait. They're scared of it, they don't know how to fish it. A swim bait is typically just a big weighted lead head with a swim bait of some sort. This happens to be a Berkley power bait, and it's a new one that they've come out with that's got a great boot tail on it. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to make a long cast, let it sink to the bottom, and then work it much like you would a jig. Try to keep it as close to the bottom as you can, possibly because the fish are going to be low in the water column during the hot summer months, and just wind it back. And they think it's a shad and they're going to crunch it. So that's another technique that you can use in the summer. Another technique that's really a go-to technique across the country is a jig and chunk. And it's kind of funny because we get a lot of questions about this, but a football head jig in the summer, deep summer months, half ounce or heavier, is really a good way to catch deep water fish. I believe that during the post-spawn, right after they get off the bed, that you want a small profile bait as you can get. Now as the summer progresses and they start looking for bigger baits, you want to be able to make that bait so the chunk will ride different than it is today. I've got this chunk pushed up on the head of the jig because I want to be able to get that tight profile on that bait. Basically what you're looking at is you're looking at a jig with only the small parts of the legs showing. It gives it a real good kicking action, and it's also a real tight profile. A lot of times you'll see guys and you'll hear them talk about catching fish offshore and they had a fish on and he came off. A lot of times the reason for that is the bait is too big. They've got the back end of it and you don't get a good hook set in them. Another great technique for the summer. And then of course, one of the ones that are tried and true when they're really eating is a good Series 6XD from Strike King. A lot of tournaments are won on it. It's a bait that you can throw, anywhere from 12 foot to about 18 foot. These fish will eat it. You want to sometimes change your cadence. Let the fish tell you what they want them to do. So summertime patterns, there's 4 techniques for you. You can use those on the water to help you catch more fish.
Check us out at wired2fish.com.